taking over a TV network.
Finish up, honey. Get to sleep.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Regular Menthol Podcast, where we discuss Kino movies. My name is Tate, and my co-host here is Chris.
Hi, folks.
We give our thoughts on the movie, our experience with it growing up, then we discuss specific scenes that we like, followed up with our very own Kino rating. Today we're discussing the 1995 movie Hackers, starring Angelina Jolie and Matthew Lillard. King, how are you? Because I haven't seen you in many years, it seems like.
It seems like a millennia. Time is a flat circle, folks. Nah, dude. Yeah, it took a week-long break to go down to Disney with the fam. It was pretty cool. We didn't miss a beat, though. We recorded ahead of time, so we didn't miss a week. But yeah, man, it was good. Everyone thinks I'm crazy because I'm like, we drove down. And I'm like, yeah, we drove down. I'm like, you didn't fly? Because I hate flying. I'm like deathly fearful of flying. But I'm like, well, yeah, we drove down because I got two brothers who live in Charlotte. So it's like the perfect median. So you do like an 8-hour drive, stay there. She gets to hang out with cousins and then see my brothers, then drive down to Disney, stay for a few days, I think for 4 days, and then drive back up, stop on the way back up. And then, so yeah, it's really not that bad. I mean, plus the way I look at it is you get a road trip out of it, And you're not literally getting your flight canceled, which we've had in the past 2 times we've flown, or like getting turned around midair, going back to Philadelphia, which kind of sucked. So you just take all that out of the equation. You don't have to dedicate like half a day to go to the airport, and I get a ton of anxiety. So,
You don't love the airport?
Mm-mm.
You don't love hanging out at the airport?
No.
What?
Not whatsoever. A lot of anxiety. Anyhow, made it to Disney. It was a good time. I was a big fan of all the like 30 and 40-year-olds who go to Disney and they love it. It's kind of insane. But
I've never been to Disney, brother.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, no, never once.
It's cool. I mean, not to downplay it. I mean, it's obviously really well done, but
is it an amusement park?
It's like a theme park, amusement park. But I grew up on Knoebels, which, I mean, that's about as Kino as it gets in my book. Like, my grandparents would take us out there and, like, take their Winnebago out there and camp. And you just go to Winnebago. You go to Knoebels the whole weekend. It's awesome. So, I went to Disney growing up. I think I was probably like 8 or 9. Don't remember much of it, but end of the day, Knoebels.
Well, what do you think about Disney as Unc? Yeah, you're back there as a man. What do you like? What's your take on it now?
Yeah, I don't even look at it honestly from that sense. I'm watching, my kid the whole time and making sure she has a good time. I'm pushing the stroller around, kind of thing. So it's cool though. I mean, definitely it's like a well-oiled machine the way they run it. So yeah, I mean, you get a couple good full days out of it. Fireworks are completely insane. I looked it up. They spend $50,000 a night on fireworks. So
$50,000 a night on fireworks
is
actually pretty wild.
Think about that. So we got a fireworks show every night we were there, so it's kind of worth it.
That's intriguing. I mean, I remember going to amusement parks when I was older, and I was like, what am I doing here? What is this? The only good thing about amusement parks for me is water parks. Yeah. Because I'll just chill in the lazy river. And people are like, oh, are you enjoying yourself? I'm like, I'm just sitting in this inner tube for an hour.
That's the play, though, man. Like, they didn't have a water one there. They just had this Princess Tiana one, which she's big into now. And I was like, all right, we got to hit that one. And, of course, it breaks down. This is a thing that people, unless you're a Disney person, these rides break down periodically or they stop and you have to wait. Fortunately, we only had that on, like, one ride, but it was kind of insane. But it's like...
You're talking about when you're there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, all of a sudden, there's news. Folks, everyone in line, sorry, the ride broke.
Yeah. And then you have to pay, if you don't want to, like, wait in the line for hours, you have to get this, like, lightning pass thing, which is, like, $100 a person a day, even more schizo.
I just go to Dorney Park.
Yeah.
And they don't have that stuff there.
Well, the problem is...
It's a well-oiled machine.
Well, at Dorney Park, right? Now, it's from a business standpoint, they kind of have to price it out because if you made it affordable, there were people... A lot of the people we came across were international. So, it's... You have to be able to price it out to a degree because the park would be mobbed every single day of the year. And you could never theoretically go on a ride. So,
How many days were you there for?
4 days.
4 days. And in and out. You got your fill at Disney.
Got it.
You got your Mickey, your Donald Duck.
We got it. So, that was a good time, though. What do you got going on? How was your week?
It was pretty uneventful. The one thing I'll say is people were like, "Oh, how's Chris doing? How's Chris doing?" I said, "Yeah." And I was like, "He's on vacation. He's down at Disney." He's like, "God damn it!" He leaves and thinks he can go on vacation.
Dude,
Like,
I earned that vacation. You ain't earned it that by me. Nah.
How dare he go on vacation?
Long overdue, man. I need that vacation. So, nah, man. It's long overdue, but it was worth it.
Did you see any Iranian sleeper cells when you were down there?
No, but I think I know what you're talking about. The kids from the area who had bombs or some shit.
Yeah, they these kids that grew up in like $1 million homes in Bucks County.
Mhm.
They drove to a protest in New York and literally tried to light these homemade bombs and launch them at cops. The bombs didn't go off, but then they're like, "Wait a second. Who are these people? How do they live in these $1 million homes when they're coming from like Afghanistan 10 years ago?"
It seems a scotch suspicious to me, but don't want to go down that road. Anyhow, we got a movie to talk about. What's this Hackers movie about?
Hackers. This genius kid, Zero Cool, hacks into Wall Street and gets arrested. His parents split up because they can't cope with having such a powerful son. Fast forward 10 years and he's moving to New York to start a new life where he can finally use computers again. Almost immediately, he starts up his hacking hijinks. At his new school, he meets some hacker friends who unintentionally uncover a plot to capsize oil tankers and steal $25 million. Now that they are being framed for the theft by some guy named The Plague, they have to scramble to hack the Gibson in order to get the evidence they need to exonerate themselves and to bring down the bad guys.
Dude, how cool of a name is Zero Cool?
Zero Cool? It's pretty cool.
He's got no chill. Zero Cool. Nah, man.
Oh, this is Zero Cool!
Hey, Zero Cool.
This is... I was thinking about this earlier. This is the absolute middle point of the 90s, this movie.
Yeah.
If you think about it. I watch this, I get vibes of equal parts early 90s and late 90s.
Yep.
And it's a weird amalgamation of everything of the 90s. Because I separated into two parts. Early 90s, grunge, Twin Peaks, and like fluorescent colors. And the late 90s is dark themes, conspiracy, and just a more serious tone.
Yeah, you almost get like a vibe of early 2000s in there, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I remember I was saying about the 2000s with like the glasses and shit in the other episode. You see a bit of that in here. But
the style and everything.
I definitely get that vibe for sure. But this movie is kind of insane conceptually because it's like knowing what we know in 2026. Are they even hacking? Like I understand that it's like a 30-year jump. So the tech is completely different. But it's like, what are they even doing here? What are they hacking? But to be fair, the opening sequence, he takes down Wall Street. So you think about that happening today. Like they would just lock him up for life. Like they're never going to let that happen.
But it would cost so much money. They charged the family $45,000. But if the Wall Street crashed like they said it did, it would cost people so much money.
Well, yeah. $45,000 in that time right now would be
it'd be like $100K.
In 1995? What was it, 95?
95.
Yeah.
Well, wait a second.
$100,000. So
it'd be like 8 years before that because that's when he's a kid. And then it fast forwards.
Good call. No, because he's like a grown up by that point, dude. He's like a senior.
But when they charge him the $45,000, like he's a little kid,
right,
in the beginning, and then it moves like 10 years into the future.
So probably like 120, 130 grand.
I say that's a fair amount. I mean, the crazy thing is, how do you just charge people that have no money that amount of money? Like, what do they do exactly? They just sell their house?
Yeah, I think they just file for bankruptcy and like they never get it. So the court's like, screw it. Just chalk it up. Remember the first time watching this movie?
Yeah, I mean, kind of. I have this vague memory of seeing it my brother was watching it on TV in the living room. And I just recall thinking, these hackers, man, they seem kind of savvy.
Yeah.
A couple years later, I get addicted to the internet. Now I'm just a terminally online chud.
Yeah, dude.
All from watching this movie as a kid.
When did hacking start? When did computer hackers get big? Was it like this about the origin of it? You think?
The 80s, I guess.
Yeah. Anyway.
Because, you can, like, people like Kevin Mitnick, I think that's the guy that comes to mind, but I think that was in the 80s.
Yeah, don't know.
I don't remember too much.
For me, though, today, I've seen clips of this movie. I knew what it was. Seen enough clips to know what's going on. But yeah, today was the first time just sat down and watched it.
So you're watching it. You don't really have the experience of seeing it when you're younger.
Right.
When it was actually on. So you don't have like the nostalgia of it exactly. No. Other than the nostalgia of like the 90s or whatnot. But like, I watched this movie when I was young and I'm like, oh, I'm watching it again today. I'm like, oh, wow. This was a thing. Like, oh, look, PlayStation.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Well, I did see I don't know, obviously you caught it because you know all this shit, but the meme of him sitting on the airplane at the beginning with the headphones on is like a current meme going on. So I caught that right away.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's this thing. Yeah, all right, got it. Literally me character. Who do you got? Who's you?
Oh, dude, I'm the plague, the bad guy from this movie because, I vibe with him just because he could be in serious trouble and he just has such little regard for the intelligence of everyone around him that he doesn't even care. Multiple times in the movie, the other woman that he's with is freaking out that things are going bad. He's like, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
These people are idiots. And I was like, he also just has a serious looking compound warehouse apartment. I don't know if you caught that. That's where I want to live. In just some warehouse.
He's got a cave, bro. He's got they have like a gooner cave. He's got like a gamer cave.
That's me, dog. That's, if you want a vision of what I'm doing during the weekend, just imagine this scene where the guy's sitting at his desk in his warehouse apartment, except instead of it being a warehouse, it's just my room in my shitty apartment.
Drinking Jolt Colas and bags of chips. The amount of they just have him eating junk food in this movie is comical. It's all the hackers are just eating shit the whole time.
Yeah, and I feel like that's just, I guess that's like a meme. I feel like also there was more junk food in the 90s. Am I crazy in thinking that, or is it just because I'm a kid in the 90s?
Probably because you're a kid. There's still junk food now. They try to brand it and make it look better than what they did back then. They just try to make it cool and appealing to kids back then so they could, like, bug their parents to buy it for them. But yes, for sure.
Remember Surge?
Dude, Surge. Oh, God. That slapped so bad. I was drinking Surge all the time, man. It was so good. I forget what it even tastes like.
It tastes like bootleg Mountain Dew. But
was it?
Yeah. Did you get the Surge Sounds CD in the mail? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Dude, there were so many like mailers, things like that back in the day. It was so awesome. Remember Toys?
I don't know how they figured it out, but they just gave it. They mailed it to like every person in the United States. It was very strange. Like my friend was like, brings a CD in. He's like, dude, I get this in the mail. Surge.
Surge. I got that new Surge, bro.
I was like, damn, dude, this is kind of elite.
For me, I don't really think that I vibed with anyone in this movie, really. Not a lot of characters, but I would say maybe Dade, because I don't know. I feel like if I was going to be single at this point in my life again, this is how I'd probably talk to women. The way he's talking to Angelina Jolie in this movie, all like awkward. It's like
very deadpan.
Yes, this is how I would talk to women nowadays. Because
I will say
he's a virgin. He's a gamer virgin.
Jonny Lee Miller and I have basically the same hairline. If you look him up, like as he ages, he starts looking more like me. Yeah, it's very strange.
He was the one bad guy in this one season of Dexter. Jordan something. Really? He's kind of jacked. Plays this. I forget what the character was even, but Dexter. What a great show. That's got to be that's gonna be the third show that we cover. We're gonna do Northwater next, and then Dexter. Done.
Dexter.
Jump at some of these fun facts here. Scenes in the movie depicting a cassette recorder to play tones into a phone to make free calls coins dropped into payphones used high trigger specific sounds that actually could be duplicated and used to fool payphones into thinking you had paid for the call. This was also accomplished using a device called a tone generator, also known as a red box. So, did you even know this existed?
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of shit we're going to cover in this movie where I'm like, I didn't know that was a thing. Totally forgot about that. Good reminders.
Well, you didn't really have payphones, did you? You never really messed with payphones.
So I'm 95. I'm 8 years old. No, yeah, 8.
Right.
So growing up with that, yeah, I mean, we had landlines and shit, but where I lived, dude, like they just didn't have payphones. So yeah, I never really came across payphones.
I was like 10, I guess. And you'd go into the Orland courts, and there was a payphone in the middle of town that you would use. And just right in the middle of everything, there's just a payphone. And I figured out how you could make all these calls and everything, kind of like in this movie and everything, where you could call collect and stuff, and just when you go to leave your name, just give a message. And then the person on the like, Mom, pick me up right now.
Yeah, there's a commercial with that. The guy calls collect, and he's like, "We had a baby, it's a boy." Remember that one?
Yeah.
You have a collect call from "We had a baby, it's a boy." Will you accept?
And I
No.
remember it like sometime in the early 2000s, maybe 2000, 2001, I got into looking at hacking stuff on the internet.
Powerful.
And there was like a subsection of hacking called phone freaking, because we would just prank call people all the time and we'd just mess with people. And there was this one phone freaker named Captain Crunch, because he figured out you could use this little toy whistle that came with the cereal to make free calls if you whistled into the phone with it.
How the
like
hell
the same idea.
do you figure that out?
I don't know, dude. That was like 70s technology. That was crazy stuff.
Schizo. Jonny Lee Miller and Angelina Jolie were married shortly after making of this film, and then were divorced 4 years later. So 20 years old, they're getting married on set. Not on set, but you get the drift. It's pretty crazy.
The chemistry was real in the movie. What you're seeing in the movie, the back and forth, that's real chemistry, folks.
Well, I guess she wasn't the star. I mean, this is 20 years old, so she wasn't like the big star back then. Because I don't think he ever really got super popular, this dude. Was he ever really a star?
Not like, an A-list actor, I would say. He's on a bunch of not sitcoms, like CBS shows.
Yeah.
Like he was on that Sherlock Holmes CBS show for a number of seasons with Lucy Liu.
Yeah. But nothing to her.
He's in Train Spotting.
Yep.
He's in a bunch of different movies and everything, but he was never to Angelina Jolie's eventual level.
He's a good actor, though.
Oh, yeah. He rules.
The cast were given 3 weeks to hang out together, to get to know each other better, and then learn rollerblading properly before filming began. They also spent most of that time studying computers and hacking. Like, I can appreciate this. The studio was like, hey, we're going to give these kids, the stars, 3 full weeks ahead of time just to kind of vibe. I appreciate that.
Especially because there's a lot of scenes of them rollerblading, and you can't just start doing that and make it look natural.
Right.
How do I know that? Because I'm a psycho that at 42 years old, I bought rollerblades and started rollerblading last summer. And let me tell you something, it's not easy. Like I did it as a kid. It's not easy to just pick up again. And I'm like, I'm going to die.
Yeah, but there's
100% chance.
You bought those speed blades, didn't you? Like the big wheel Jones?
Yeah.
Yeah, these are like retro, K2 fatties or some shit.
3 weeks though.
Yeah, no, it's impressive.
It is impressive to kind of get that, because there are a number of scenes where they're zipping around New York.
Yeah, I was surprised.
They do look legitimate rollerbladers.
Yeah. Let's get into some of these Kino scenes. What do we got? Got a lot to cover.
I love the opening of this movie where you find out this kid, he's a genius hacker, and he gets in trouble for shutting down Wall Street and causing line to go down. Don't you just hate that when line goes down? I guess it's the case today. It's not really that this kid is a genius. I don't know if you saw this in the courtroom. It's that everyone is dumb.
Yes, pretty much.
The attorneys, the judges, the parents, they have no idea what this kid actually did.
Mhm.
It's hard to tell because it's a couple seconds, but in the judge's face, I see a guy who's like, I don't know what you did, dude, but you made a line go down. So I'm going to put, you're in trouble now.
Over.
You know what I mean? Like all they know is the fact that, Wall Street's shut down.
Yeah.
This kid did something with the computers. He did something with the computers, and now the line goes down and people are flipping out. They're losing money in the streets, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God.
They got the call from the banks and they're like, yep, take this kid out. Yeah, but what was his sentencing? He didn't even get sentenced to anything. He's just like not allowed to.
He's just got probation. He wasn't allowed to use a computer until he was 18.
Huh.
Interesting punishment. You're not allowed to use a computer, bud.
Yeah.
We're not going to monitor you. You're a guy that uses an alias, but
right.
just take our advice.
Us.
Don't use a computer.
Promise us.
Yeah.
Pinky swear that you won't use a computer until you're 18.
There's a real life guy, Kevin Mitnick. He's a hacker, and this is kind of insane. He claimed that when he was arrested, he wasn't allowed to use a phone by judge's orders because they were worried that he would whistle tones into the phone and take over NORAD. Now, that sounds completely insane. That's what he's claiming.
Yeah,
but it seems legit in my mind because it just. What do you know about hacking? Like you personally,
Me?
like I don't even know that much about computers myself.
Nothing.
And I'm a schizophrenic that just goes on the internet all the time. The amount of knowledge that these people have is your average person is totally ignorant about what's going on with computers.
Oh my God.
So
yes,
in the 80s or whenever this took place, they're like, this dude, they can whistle tones into the phones. They're getting free calls. What's to stop them from taking over NORAD and launching nuclear missiles, ladies and gentlemen? Holy smokes. That's the level of ignorance there is around computers.
Well, yeah. And I think that's the cool thing about this movie is like, you don't know what's going on. And they're trying to give you a visual of what's involved in 1995 with computer hacking. But dude, it's so alien to people. Nowadays, probably not as much, but they're trying to just depict something for you, the viewer, to be like, okay, this is what hacking is. And they do a decent job. They try to make it relatable, but it's like, dude, back then, the coding with all that shit, you see these pages of him writing code. I'm like, is this really what they did? Kind of wild.
I mean, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but basically there's a complaint about this movie that I have to address at some point that like actually kind of bothers me. But we'll get to it. We'll get to it later. But it cuts to an airplane. Now, 18-year-old Dade, aka Zero Cool, played by Jonny Lee Miller, and you just have this blissful song just come through the speakers.
It's the meme.
Halcyon On and On. You're familiar with this song?
Now I am.
He looks out the window at the skyscrapers, and the landscape transitions from skyscrapers into these computer chips.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the movie title comes whooshing on screen. I was like, there's a guy somewhere who envisioned this opening to the movie.
Yes.
It's like, how can we describe the movie in visuals in the span of 5 seconds? And he killed it.
Dude.
That guy's vision is incredible.
It rules. This is what I always say, man. I always acknowledge this in like 90s movies openings sequences that are awesome. This is one of them. It's like, wow, dude, this, like you said, someone came up with this concept and it's the streets of the city, right? And they double as, I don't know, computer components. Genius tier.
Like you imagine there's a storyboards of this whole movie, and there's a guy who envisioned this whole concept of the city turning into computers and the metaphor of like the computer is an inner city.
Yeah.
Powerful stuff. But Halcyon On and On, also in Mortal Kombat at the end of the movie, it just kind of takes you right back to the 90s. It makes me calm. Every so often I'll just turn it on YouTube and I'll just vibe.
Meditate in your room to that. In your gamer cave.
I pretend I'm hacking, dog. I'm in my goon cave. I pretend I'm hacking. I'm hacking the Gibson. it's his 18th birthday now, and he's on his computer in his room because, oh, wow, I can use computers again. My probation's up. He's apparently just jumping right back into hacking. And he takes over a local television station.
Yeah, dude.
How's he do it, though? How's he do it? By just calling up the station and pretending to be in the accounting department and have the security guard there read him the number on the modem in order to connect his computer.
And he uses the name Eddie Vedder. It's like, he knows this guy's not going to catch on to that. And he spells out AWOL, AWOL.
Yeah, it shows you his complete amount of just contempt for normies.
Right.
Like, he doesn't expect this guy to figure out anything he's saying, right?
Yeah.
And there's this idea that hacking is, I have to use this code to do something on my computer and break into someone's computer and do all this shit, right? And most of the time it's just done through something called social engineering, which is essentially just calling up the place and pretending to be someone in authority and getting them to, hand over some sensitive information, in this case, the phone line, but it could be passwords. So then you can just log in yourself remotely. That's all that hacking is.
Yeah. We've seen this in like the past 4 90s movies that we did, where some security guy gets a call and it's not the person on the other line. They're just like, okay, screw it. We'll go with it. I don't know. But I just appreciate it when he swaps the tapes out, right? He's got like this tape board. What kind of tapes are they? Like cassette tapes? Or no, those are like...
I guess they're VHS.
Small VHSs?
Something, yeah.
He's got like this board of them labeled.
That used to be a thing, dude. There used to be machines that would take VHS tapes and put them into the VCR that's hooked up to the signal that's, playing the main. Yeah.
It's insane.
That used to be like a vision of the future. It's like, dude, you know what we're going to be able to do? We're going to be able this. I remember this from the 90s. My dad telling me this. He's like, you're going to be able to call a number and rent a video, and you're not even going to have to go to the store. What you're going to be able to do is there's going to be a channel, and it'll just have a machine take the VHS, exactly how it's done in this
put
movie,
it in the thing and play it over your frequency.
Yeah, he was talking about some kind of Netflix thing years before Netflix even came out.
Powerful.
And I'm like, think about how much the technology changed that, though.
Right.
It went from that is like a crazy vision of the future to we'll just send you the DVD in the mail to I log into it now and press a button and a million movies, every movie ever is available now.
Remember the Netflix in the mail? What a timeline. And then now it's just taking over.
That was a thing. It was, I think Blockbuster was going to do it too.
Nah, they balked at it. Apparently, if I remember correctly,
they balked.
They were like pissed off. They're like, no, we're not going to do that. That's not going to work. And then sure enough, they went under.
And Netflix just became a global phenomenon.
Mm-hmm. And it's like he wakes up the next morning from his cave, his gamer gooner cave. And it's like midday. His mom's asking him what time he went to bed, if he stayed up all night. And like a true gamer, this dude just goes over to the refrigerator, gets a bottle of Coke, and starts drinking it. Cuts to him later. He's still drinking Coke, eating like a frozen pizza in his kitchen. Love it.
Yeah.
Respect.
This was the gamer fuel of the mid-90s. Now, I don't remember exactly when energy drinks came out.
Dude,
do you?
I want to say Red Bull got big. What?
Red Bull.
2010-ish?
Oh, it's just like back then, that stuff didn't exist. You're drinking soda. You're drinking your Jolt Cola.
1987 is when April of 1987. Red Bull was a big hit energy drink. Didn't know that.
That's curious. I never remember energy drinks until the 2000s.
Yeah,
but
I guess it started off in Europe.
In Europe, very Europe.
1997 was the U.S. launch. There you go. So they're drinking Jolt Cola. Okay. Jolt Cola was the initial energy drink for gamer. That was the initial gamer fuel, as noted by this movie.
But yeah, so like that, the idea that he comes out and starts drinking Coke or whatever. It's not that crazy though, because what do I do when I get up? I just get out and I just drink a giant thing of coffee.
Well, I guess kind of same. I don't know about that.
They both have the idea is they both have caffeine in it.
Right.
But it is alarming somewhat that when I was a kid, I never woke up and drank soda.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, it is kind of weird that as an adult, I'm just crushing a heart-stopping amount of caffeine.
Dude, you and those energy drinks, bro, you gotta get past those. No good. But another thing here I noticed was he's zipping around New York City, and let's just get some optics here. He's blading to class, and you just see the city downtown. I'm like, oh, this looks welcoming compared to what I see.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, I haven't been in New York City in a long time. How about you? When was the last time you were in the big city? The big city.
That's a great question, man. I don't know. Probably 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah. Damn.
The big city, though.
Might have been.
Take a little boat bus. Take a boat bus up.
I was taking Megabus when I was doing classes and doing auditions up there. And, dude, I couldn't get out of there fast enough. And this is even, bro, this is back in 2014, 15, 16. I can't imagine it today.
Well, I mean, when you watch this, this was the height of rollerblading, I feel like, 1995.
It was probably awesome being in the city then.
Well, being a blader, a fellow blader, one of the things is around me is just these giant hills. Yeah, it's impossible to rollerblade around here, though, because there's all these giant hills, and I'm just destroying my thighs going up a hill. If you think about it, though, if you look at New York, there's no hills. It's all flat.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
It's a perfect area to just blade around the city, zip in and out of traffic.
And then they got unpopular blades, and then they're making a comeback. They're making a comeback.
I'm going to forge a comeback, ladies and gentlemen. Being a blader online, you watch
20-year-old Angelina Jolie in this. Hot. Short hair.
Okay. I think there's a number of times where this question comes up, and this might be the most warranted time that we've asked it. Because I don't know, dude.
I'm going to say no.
I just don't know.
I'm going to say no.
Do you think that Angelina Jolie is hot in her life?
IRL now? I mean, she's also 60, but I don't know, man. She just.
What about in her prime? 2004.
Gone in 60 Seconds?
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I think she's pretty for sure, but she always just had this look about her that I just didn't really vibe with. But she's definitely obviously attractive. But in this movie, 20 years old, she's supposed to be the sex appeal. Maybe it's because she's not overly hot. She's the gamer hot.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
What you're
going for?
It makes too much sense, but I mean, that's why I'm picking up on her vibes. Her and Zero Cool going back to flirting in this movie. Yeah. It's very deadpan. It's very non-serious, and I like it.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it because she's just not A-list actress mega babe hot.
Right.
She's I could get her hot.
Yeah, attainable, right? For these gamers.
Hot. Wait a second.
Gamer attainable. But these computer sequences that you get throughout the movie here, and especially when he's at high school, it's do you remember these skeletons that were grinding on the computer screen? Remember those?
Vaguely. I remember, I guess it was Microsoft had the paperclip thing too.
Yep. But they also had, he's looking at the profiles, and it's this pixelated black and white picture of each of them. And then all the command prompts are Times New Roman. It just looks so DOS to me. This is so epic. I
wish we could bring that back.
Dude.
For real, though.
Take me back, for sure.
There's something kind of nice about using a black screen with the DOS prompt.
Yeah.
And you're this is kind of retro cool, I would say. I would call that. I don't know.
Well, but it even lends itself to, the hacking and coding was probably even 10 times harder back then. So it's you think about how easy it probably is now. I'm sure it's still super hard to code properly and be a hacker nowadays. Probably a bunch more hoops you have to jump through. But the actual physical hacking of it back then was probably super difficult.
Well, you had to know what you're doing for sure. And basically no one knew what was going on. Like they're going through the different books and everything in the one scene. It's just kind of like anything else where they're nerds, but they're nerds about using computers and a very specific niche of using computers.
Mhm.
You know, it's like someone who's like really into football.
Yeah.
It's like, if you had no idea about American football and this guy's talking to you about Josh Allen and the big play,
The big play.
yeah, it'd be like, what is this guy talking about? You know, but
And dude, it's like, I'm watching this and he starts like popping off about his handle.
yeah,
And again, this is the first time I watched it straight through. Like, there were such thing as handles in 1995. Did you know this?
mm-hmm.
Bro, I thought it was like
Yeah.
mid 2000s Xbox Live.
All that stuff comes from early 90s and stuff, because what the handle would be if you're on bulletin boards, which were like pre-forum
Mhm.
type things, you would have a handle, and
A screen
that
name?
became, well, then you had the screen name with instant messenger and everything. By the way, what's your screen name? What was your AIM name, bud?
God, dude, I don't even know. I gotta think. What was yours?
Tate 1235.
That's-
You know why it was? Because someone already had Tate. Someone already had Tate 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, and I got so pissed. I was just like 1, 2, 3, 5. There's people out there, and then what I did was I messaged those people, and I was like, "Hey, you got my name there, bud?" And they're like, "Who are you?"
I gotta.
Who are you, bud?
If I think about it by the end of the episode, I'll rattle off. But I gotta think hard about that one, dude. That was so long ago. Dial up, AOL, going into chats, the chat room action.
Mm-hmm.
Those days, you do like it must have been one of those. I think it was one of those XX and then like a username XX at the end.
Yeah,
But I feel like that was like the girls' ones. I don't know, but I do remember.
I remember a number of girls who had that.
Small X, large X, username, large X, small X. Dude, take me back, bro. Take me back.
That's how I got good at typing.
Yeah.
I had one good class in high school. It was typing, and that's how I learned how to learn anything. And then I honed my skill on AIM, where I would just talk shit for like 5 hours at night, every night. And I was like, oh, damn, I'm getting good at typing.
That's what led to you being the loudest typer in history. Bro, we'd be at work and people come through and to the office and like, who the hell is typing so loud? And you're just like, break the keyboard.
Like, bro, are you mad or something? Why are you slamming on the keys? Like, I don't know. I got a lot of inner angst.
So Kate gets top score in this game and he just walks in, talks shit in this awkward gamer cadence that he has and beats her score. And if you caught this little subtle thing, she's kissing the dude on the balcony and Dade doesn't even notice. He's completely locked in. Total game.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
That's the best kind of visual representation of being locked in on the internet. And I don't think it's being utilized enough in meme format.
Yeah. It's
just his face staring at the screen and the camera slowly zooms in on his face with the lights of the video game flashing off his face, the reflection. It's like, this dude's locked in.
And I don't want to nitpick here, but so she jumps on the bike with this Curtis dude. They're trying to make it look, they're trying to make Curtis look badass riding off on this bike with Kate on the back. And he almost stalls it out, dude. This is a Kawasaki KLR 650, which has 40 horsepower max. I'm feeling like they should have done another take on this because,
well,
that bike is like, I watched it back like 3 times. I'm like, he really almost stalled this thing out. They should have given him 3 weeks to practice on that bike. So they should have.
This Curtis guy, he is not a hacker. He is not elite.
He's not a gamer.
He's just hanging out with these guys. And what is he? He's the Chad hanging out with this
the virgin
hot chick.
Yeah.
But he's a little intimidated, dare I say, by the fact that
he doesn't want to lose her.
He doesn't really care about her, or she doesn't care about him. She cares about the hacking more.
Oh yeah.
And he feels that I gotta get out of here. Hey, babe. You really gonna play with these computer kids? All right, see ya.
I gotta stall out my KLR.
There's this scene here where the 4 of them they're all smoking cigs, shooting this shit, And this is where I start questioning whether this is a good movie or not. I'm like, they're talking about something called a Gibson supercomputer. And I was like, even in the mid-90s, I was pretty into computers.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember them saying this. And I was like, wait a second, is that even real? I've never heard of a Gibson before. Is this some kind of government thing? I don't know. No, it's not real. They just made it up for the movie as some kind of plot device. And it's where I realized, this movie, it kind of gets over on Kino style over substance of the actual movie.
Yeah.
Right?
In my research, I found out that the Gibson computer obviously was totally made up, but it was a nod to cyberpunk author William Gibson. If you know that name, you know that better than me.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what they were going with. But yeah, I have to agree. This movie is definitely a vibe, and I appreciate the hell out of it. But let me ask you this. You were 12 when this came out, this movie, right? 10, 12. So your brother's a lot older than you. How old was he? 95.
Well, he was 19, I think.
Yeah. So was he in this crowd? What was his high school crowd?
I don't know what the hell his high school crowd was, but I don't remember ever there being a crowd of hackers, though.
Right. Same. There might have been kids who thought they were hackers. Like, dude, we're hackers. They just go on, talk shit on AOL.
There were gamers.
Yeah.
Sure. Gamers existed. Like my bud Dom, who was like, the most addictive drug I've ever done was EverQuest. I'm like, Dom, what are you talking about?
That's so gnarly.
Like, well, I'm in credit card debt over my character because I don't want him to die. Like, Dom.
Still happens to this day, probably.
Oh, yeah.
You can sell those characters once you're
gamers, sure.
Can't you do that in like World of Warcraft and shit?
100%.
It's kind of wild.
World of Warcraft, I knew a guy that had like 10 characters and they were worth $10,000 total. And he wouldn't sell them.
That's how you can make some extra money. Just level up your characters and sell them.
I don't think you can do that anymore.
Nah.
You might, that was big when World of Warcraft was big.
Yeah.
I don't think that stuff, it's not big anymore.
Yeah.
But hackers, I don't think they existed. There was no hacker group. There was nerds, there was gamers,
jocks.
I think this is a made up
popular kids
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Tell me what you think about this. Maybe a bit of an underdog, but I think that the bad guy in this movie rates pretty high among bad guys. Is he
Plague?
The most dangerous? Perhaps not. But in terms of style, in terms of making me laugh.
Yes, dude.
And in terms of basically willing to do anything.
Yeah.
You have a lot of bad guys that are psychopaths and they're power hungry. You don't see too many bad guys that are just in it for the lulls.
Yeah.
This guy's doing this just because he's bored.
Yeah. And it comes across too when he's talking shit. He's like, you can't get me. He's like laughing about it. It's like, he's in it, dude. He's in it. He's the gamer. He's the true gamer. The love of the game.
Yes. Love of the game.
Yeah.
That's because if you think about it, he has this high up corporate position. They're probably paying him an arm and a leg because no one can do the kind of things that he can do.
Mm-hmm.
And he has this warehouse apartment that's super nice. He's got a nice little goon cave. And why does he want $25 million on top of this to steal from this corporation? And then he's going to have to look over his shoulder the rest of his life in case the FBI's after him. Why?
Love of the game, dog.
Because he loves the game. He's a gamer and he thinks he's smarter than everyone else. And I can appreciate that.
No, he's definitely, this is a great character. Obviously the character of the movie, but there's some funny shit we'll get into later on. Joey's taking a shower and he has his headphones on, but they're covered with bags so they don't get wet. I mean, respect. It's 2026. I literally do this. Like I take long showers on the weekend to just kind of relax, like a nice little 20, 30-minute shower. And I'll put my phone in this like crevice in my shower so it doesn't get wet. So it's loud enough to, hear over the shower noise. And I'm like, damn, dude, I can definitely relate to this dedication this guy has to not ruin his headphones.
Now, this was a shocking scene. I saw this, the bags over the headphones. Even though there's bags over the headphones, I don't understand how anyone would ever do this. But when you then said this, you have a crevice in your shower that you're putting your phone, it started to get me concerned. Elaborate, please.
So, yeah, in my shower, like there's like an area up top where the like I don't even know, dude. The actual wall hits the whatever the shower is made out of, and there's like a couple divots in the corners, right? And literally, I just stick it there, and it plays super loud, and I can hear it. Because if I put it in my bathroom, I can't hear it. So if I wedge
and
it,
water isn't coming close to it
no,
all?
it's completely fine. But then I can just blast music. I basically should just put some kind of sound system in my bathroom, but I just don't want to do that.
What about a Bluetooth pool?
Yeah, I could do that, but it's a little extra work.
It's so incredible that you say this, because my old roommate, he would do this exact same thing that you're talking about.
Yeah.
He would blast music out of his phone when he was taking a shower, and I could hear it, and it was always just the best, most him music. He liked this specific genre of music that would get him hyped for going out on the weekends. I was like, yes, this dude's getting in a hype mood.
Oh yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, dude.
Here we go.
What I'm saying, it's like only on the weekends, you know what I mean? I wanted to just relax. I just woke up. I slept in just a little bit. I'm like, okay, get this day started, throw some tunes on. I'm just vibe for a little bit. My Saturday morning vibe.
And look what we are. We don't need to wear headphones anymore, ladies and gentlemen. We have speaker phones now. Wait a second though, bud. Don't be playing those speaker phones in public, because you might get thrown off a plane.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
New policy.
You're not a fan of speakerphone users?
No.
Didn't you say
where it comes up?
Yeah, isn't it? You always say about the sauna at the gym. People are just talking loud as shit on their phones.
It takes place in the sauna, and to a lesser extent in the gym. It's just people playing speakerphone, and I have this thought of, do I go to prison? Well, no, I don't. You can't have a conversation like, hey, can you turn that off? Well, then why were you playing it in the first place?
Mm-hmm. Relatable, bro. I feel that. I can get behind that.
I don't know. I feel like I want to just machine gun people sometimes.
I think a lot of people listening probably have that same vibe when they hear people just talking. It was funny.
But that's why they're banned.
I was at the store and this lady was checking this dude out, and he was just having a full-blown phone conversation with his speakerphone on. And she's like, you could tell she's like older and just getting annoyed. And she's like, hey, can you tell him I said hi? It's kind of ballsy. And he's like, yeah, what? Huh? And it was just hilarious to what transpired. And then I was next in line. I just rolled my eyes at her. Like, yeah, I know. I got you. You got something.
Folks, anyway, this FBI Agent Bob, a true bald maxer, played by Michael Gaston. Did you notice this guy?
Yes, I did.
So he's been in 100 different things, right? He's a character actor. It wasn't until right now that I noticed that he looks exactly like this coworker of ours, Gantz. Did you notice that?
Yeah. Identical.
No one knows what we're talking about, but it's this guy that we worked with that looks exactly like him. Yeah. And now when I see this guy, especially watching the rest of this movie, I can't help but be like, oh, there's our coworker.
No, this guy was he's a big TV guy. He's been in he does like a single episode on really big shows, but he's a lifer, man. He's definitely been grinding in Hollywood for years, which I can appreciate. But he's reading this manifesto, and I'm sure you can appreciate this. It reads, you build atomic bombs, you wage wars, you murder, cheat, and lie to us, and try to make us believe it's for our own good. Yet we're criminals. Powerful.
And then
it's very nice manifesto, which apparently is, I looked it up, it's from the 80s, from a hacker from the 80s. Like, yeah. It's a vibe.
He's like, you think that's cool? It's a bunch of commies.
I know, he's just a bunch of commies. I'm like, what? But after that, there's the scene where Plague is playing this virtuality machine when the one dude barges in on him. It kind of looks like a modern day VR because it has like that little kind of circular thing that he's standing in. Today when I learned that this was a thing. Did you know this existed? This tech?
Yeah.
Back in 1995? Had no clue.
I core memory unlocked because I had this vague memory of being somewhere with my dad, maybe in New York, and he took me somewhere where they had one of these things, and I got in it and was playing it, and they were like, oh, dude, this is the future. It was the most janky nonsense ever. You put these goggles on and you're looking at just these pixels. And this is what it is. This is VR. This sucks. I'm like a little kid, be like, this is the worst thing ever.
Well,
I can't believe
I had to look it up on YouTube, and I was like, let me see what this actually looked like. And it was basically a dumbed down version of PlayStation 1, pixelated kind of thing.
Yeah.
With all the geometry shapes and minimal quality gameplay. So it didn't really work. But to be fair,
VR.
They were 30 years ahead of the time, man, because it ends up. Have you ever done one of these modern VR headsets?
No. Are you? That's the next level of gooning right there, is the VR headset.
Oh, yeah. Remember Facebook was going to do like a VR, the metaverse or whatever?
The metaverse. Holy smokes. You know what, dude? If you didn't mention that right now, I never would have thought about that ever again.
Yeah.
But who's the guy that we watch all the time? Daniel from SL?
Yeah.
Daniel from SL does the... I don't even know what that game... Second Life is the game?
Second Life, yeah. It's like a role-playing game.
Yeah,
VR chat
it's
type thing. God, bro. What a world to be in.
That's basically the extent of the technology.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It never progressed past that.
Well, 1995.
As far as I can tell.
Fair. So Kate comes in the room. She's making out with Curtis. And her and Curtis she does play it off. She looks a little drunk or whatever because they're at this party. But it's like, do you not notice the four guys gooning in the corner looking at trying to hack this computer or whatever the hell they're doing, and they just stand there watching her before he just like blurts out something. It's like, but the whole point of this scene for me is Curtis rolls over to the computer and he's rocking this sick JVC sweatshirt. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to find the sweatshirt. This is like a thing I normally do in movies. Like, let me find out what that person's wearing because I want to buy it. It's impossible to find. You could not find that sweatshirt. I don't even know if they're a company anymore. JVC.
I looked it up.
JBL.
I think they got bought out. There was some kind of merger with some other company. You remember JVC was responsible for the VHS. They were the ones that pushed the VHS platform versus Betamax. There was that whole war back in the 80s, but kind of like if you remember in the like 2000 mid 2000s, it was Blu-ray versus HD
Blu-rays.
DVD.
Yeah, dude. Yep.
And Blu-ray won out, and there was a similar kind of war between VHS and this thing called Betamax.
Okay.
And JVC was the company that pushed the VHS. So anyway, they were like a big company in Japan or whatever back in the day. And at some point, yeah, you're right. I mean, they just kind of disappeared, fell off the face of the earth.
It's like same exact thing as Netflix and Blockbuster. Press F.
Yeah. Press F. Yeah. They're having this little hackathon, this hack-off between Kate and Dade. They're having this little animosity between the two of them. A little flirtatious animosity, I would say. And Dade is saying he listed Richard Gill as dead, and Nyken goes, very impressive. To which Cyril responds, superhero-like even.
Yeah, dude. He has a bunch of little ones in this movie. They're so good.
Cyril's played by Matthew Lillard here, and it's this weird mix of a punk rocker, a hippie, and some homeless guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is what I think of. This is the actual picture in my mind when I think of Matthew Lillard. He cultivated this gimmick in the 90s of being this acting style where he plays it super over the top, super excited in every movie.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And that was just his gimmick. That's how he got over.
Dude, I said it before in the Scream episode. Matt, I don't even know. I didn't even look it up if he was big before that or what he was in, but he takes his girlfriend at the time to her audition for Scream. Casting director sees him in the hallway. He's like, hey, read for this role. Absolutely nails it. Career takes off from there. Very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing I love about this character, he's got these like rad shirts. I mean, it's obviously his style. His gimmick is like completely original, but he's got these Dead Kennedys, the Clash t-shirts underneath that kind of look badass.
Mm-hmm.
He's just,
the cutoffs.
He has this, you're right, the character that he plays, it's a little bit flamboyant every time, but this guy absolutely nails it every time, in my opinion. So, but even funnier beforehand, they had this montage where they're getting ready for this face-off, and he's standing in the mirror, Dade, with floppy disks, like it's a gun. And it's like the most insane montage ever. It's like, what the hell am I watching? There's no physicality needed for this face-off. Just hacking.
There's moments in this movie where I can't understand what's happening, and it's more than just this is a different time period.
Yeah.
It's like, I know, even back then, I don't understand what's going on.
There's a couple coming up, which we'll discuss.
Oh, yeah. Like, I love this next scene, though. Dade gets this laptop sent to him via UPS. He opens it, and the plague is on video. This video just starts playing as soon as he opens the laptop.
Where's the tech on that?
And one of the most insane messages that I vibe with, he just starts going, "We are samurai, the keyboard cowboys, and all those other people out there who have no idea what's going on are the cattle. Boo." I'm like, these guys are, imagine if you were Dade for a second. You're super smart. You're 18. And basically, dude, the world is wide open for you to do anything. And this guy is the bad path that he could go down in the future.
Right.
Where he just becomes a maniac bored criminal.
That's a good way of looking at it. It's the truth, though. You lose your mind because you're just smarter than everyone and they don't understand what you're doing.
Yeah. And then you grow absolute contempt for everyone because you're like, damn it, I try and explain things to these people and they just can't get it.
Yeah.
And now you're at a point where you're just calling people cattle.
Yeah.
And, it's kind of like an insane scene, too. Where, like, this guy is just his look, the plague, slick back hair, his jacket.
He's a gamer.
And he's like a Bond villain type character.
Literally. Yep.
But not physically, mentally. Like a super genius character.
It's a really good character.
Epic.
Yeah. Sure. Something that threw me was the number of dream sequences throughout this movie. Did you catch that? Like 7 different.
Yeah, there's so many.
What's going on here? And then Freak has one before getting busted. And Freak gets walked through prison with all the dudes grabbing at him. And I'm getting some Con Air vibes. It's the same actor. Did you catch that?
Wait a second. Is this the same character, my friend?
Well, this was 2 years before Con Air. Con Air was 97. So the director of Con Air was just like, okay, I'm just going to use that dude for this movie and these scenes. But
the Freak eventually gets arrested after the time of this movie and gets sent to federal prison and gets put on Con Air with Cameron Poe.
Doing a timeline here? The universes collide?
Universes collide. It's the same universe. Hackers and Con Air.
There you go. This is probably the most insane scene for me in film history, dude. I mean, there's a lot of scenes you can be like, all right, well, this scene for me, seeing it for the first time today, I'm like, I don't even know what the hell I just saw. But Dade is in this dark alley with a floppy disk ready to drop it off to the plague. No one's there. You got the whole effect of, it's wet. He's alone in this dark alley. He sees something like some lights coming at him. It's a car. And then this figure to the left of it, it's Dade it's the plague on a skateboard holding onto the back of a white limo. And then he just appears, grabs the disc, continues skateboarding, grabs onto the back of the limo. And then Dade just like realizes what he saw and runs after him and just stops saying, damn it. It's like, what? Explain that to me.
Don't know anything. This is one of those times where you're like, the person who can see this idea just went completely insane. Imagine if you're the director, you have no idea about this scene at all, and this guy comes up to you with these storyboards of this car approaching and this guy hanging off the side of a car. Like, what is the purpose of this scene exactly, other than to demonstrate that the plague is completely insane?
It. That's literally it. You're right. Because otherwise he would just be in the back of the limo, pull up, get the disc, and ride away.
But that's not exciting. That's boring.
It's true.
That's one of the things that he is all about in life, is that he loves the chaos all the time.
He needs a skateboard. There's a chance he might hit a kickflip, pop an ollie there. Who knows?
Constant excitement.
So after that, they activate Dave's autism to write code, and he's locked in for, I don't know, it's like 24, 48 hours in the movie verse. Is this how you wrote code back in 1995? Do you know? It's like just writing out those sequences of like 10 letters.
Yeah.
All right. Wasn't sure.
I think if you ever look at actual code, it's something that you need to kind of sit down and get into the zone.
Yeah.
Like if you ever done any actual writing before, it's kind of like that, except even more, you need to be in the zone.
Yeah, but the structure of the code nowadays it's those prompts, right? It's like this kind of, I don't even know, it's like a linear thing where this is just segments of numbers.
Yeah, I don't know if it's actually accurate what he's doing on screen.
Scarce.
But the idea of him having to, get in a flow state, I think that is kind of accurate.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm just saying the physicality of the way the code's set up is kind of weird, but first time I saw that.
Oh, yeah.
Another one here, Cyril says he's blowing up because his pager goes off. Another one. Today years old when I realized that people were saying I'm blowing up back in 95.
Oh, jeez. I mean, it's got a whole different connotation now, doesn't it? You don't want to be blowing up. You don't want your pager blowing up now.
Okay, we're talking about two different things. Yeah, so blowing up your phone nowadays means I'm not talking about pagers blowing up in people's faces. That's a whole different conversation.
Did your older brother have a pager?
Nah, no pager in my house ever. I've never seen one in person, probably. I don't even think. Kind of wild.
It was like a couple years older than me.
Mm-hmm. I know of them.
I think people
never
have
seen
pagers.
But I love just to kind of the ending here is kind of insane because I kind of love movies like this because it's literally maybe 3 minutes of screen time. The hackers get arrested. They're being questioned. And then the bad guy is exposed, right? The cop doesn't even question whether they're right or wrong. It's just like, oh, shit. Because they got duped.
Yeah.
With no evidence, just goes, all right, we got to go arrest this guy. Bad guy's arrested. They're all exonerated. End of story. 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Tops. Speed run.
They wrapped that up real quick, didn't they? There's a scene where Plague is in bed with Margot and the news breaks on TV exposing them.
Yeah.
And she sits up in bed and she's like, oh shit. And he just disappears from the room completely. She looks over and he's not there, despite the fact that a mere 10 seconds earlier, he was in the bed with her.
And it's a car.
Like, how did he just,
to make things work?
How did he disappear like that? Not known. And then it cuts to him in a costume in an old person disguise on the plane. And the cops wait mid-flight to arrest him.
Yes.
Did you notice that? What was the purpose of waiting on mid-flight?
For the drama. That's it. For the movie. It was awesome.
Just for the scene.
Yep.
Yeah, that was it.
Awesome. Love it.
Kino rating, sir. Give me your analysis.
Well, I'll give this one a 7.3. I mean, I appreciate the style, like you mentioned before, first and foremost. You got the visuals, really good soundtrack, but also the writing. You know what I mean? I think that it's a way that I had mentioned before to kind of quantify or illustrate hacking in the 90s where it probably wasn't as popular. You know, you didn't have all these people coding nowadays. Hey, learn to code. Learn to code. But it's like, this is 31 years ago and the tech's way different, but it kind of still holds up in a way. So plus, you know, the message they're trying to get across here with this whole situation, like I said about the manifesto, is kind of sound in my book. So above all, Jonny Lee Miller plays this awkward virgin perfectly, I might add, which I fully appreciate. How about yourself?
I give this movie a 7, and I think, you know, like maybe more if I have my nostalgia glasses on, but it's certainly Kino though. Like the movie poster is a top 5 movie poster for me.
Yeah, very nice.
But one thing that I'll mention is that there's a major criticism of this movie is that the hacking scenes aren't portrayed accurately.
Wow.
And I have a major issue with that because, like, if you're talking about like the scenes where there's all these like lasers shooting through the circuits and everything, it's like they have to kind of show something when the hacking's going on because nothing's going on. Right. It's just information flying through the air, right? So for the audience, like, well, what's happening right now? Well, they visually show you that, but This movie actually shows a realistic portrayal of hacking in that what do they do when they actually have to hack into someplace?
Right.
Zero Cool, he calls up the place and does the social engineering, right? They do dumpster diving outside the corporation. They dive in the dumpster and get the documents. They have Nikon walk through delivering flowers, and he's looking over people's shoulders, remembering their passwords as they're typing it in.
Yeah.
And they have Serial installing the little device on the one lady's computer so that they can, remote. I don't know what it is, honestly, but it's at least an attempt to be like, you need to physically do something to actually hack.
Yeah.
You can't just, maybe I'm wrong, but that was what hacking was at that time, at least. You would call up places and get them to give you their information. And they actually portray that, honestly, in this movie. But I think that people just see the scenes where there's lasers shooting through the circuits and they're like, this is unrealistic. Like, yeah, exactly. It's unrealistic that that doesn't happen for real. Lasers shooting through circuits and stuff like that.
There's no way to illustrate it. They have to do something where it's like, oh shit. So the layman is like, okay, wow, this is what hacking's all about. Now I have a visual. It's complicated. I get it now. So yeah, I have no problem with that at all.
I was surprised that they showed dumpster diving though, because it was like, that's an extra level that your normal person probably wouldn't understand. Yeah, that's how you would do it. You would go into the dumpster in the back of the building and look for documents that showed passwords and whatnot.
Facts.
Easy peasy. Ladies and gentlemen, next week we discuss, oh my God, The Color of Money with who? Mr. Tom Cruise. And
your boy.
And Paul Newman. Two Paul Newman movies within 3 weeks. Think about it, folks.
Powerful. Until then, catch you in the next one.